Tips on how to get the most out of therapy or coaching from a licensed therapist and coach. Therapy can be pretty expensive, and a very minimum is like very time consuming and it's a lot of time and energy. And you just don't want to keep going forever and ever and ever. Like, the goal shouldn't be just to go like hang out with your bestie and talk all day. Whoever you're working with is going to do their best to figure out and anticipate your needs when you come in. However, the best judge of your actual needs is you. So you need to be your own best advocate and ask for what you need. If the therapy or coaching is going too slow, you need to ask and say, like, I'm ready to go deeper. I'm done with that subject. Like, I think I've checked that goal. Like, I'm ready to keep going and move to the next thing. If things are feeling like they're moving too fast, then you need to ask and for the therapist to slow down and say, hey, like, I'm not ready to move on, or I'm not ready to go deeper on that, or this feels like too much. I'm feeling flooded. Next, you want to come prepared. So at the beginning, you should be setting goals with whoever you're working with to be able to decide so you're on the same page of what you guys want to work on. But each session, you need to come prepared of, did you do your homework? And if not, why? It's okay if you didn't, but you need to be willing to talk about why. You need to be willing to like follow up on some of those things and figure out like, what else do I need? Like, this week, this really crazy thing happened and I really need to break it down and process it, versus let's keep going on the goals that we set forward. Some therapists are going to be more person-centered and allow you to kind of drive the boat and determine kind of what the best direction is to take therapy, where others are going to be more directive and really focused in on your goals and holding you accountable to those things that you said in the beginning. Depending on your personal style, you should choose somebody to work with who's either going to be like really direct and hold you to the fire, or somebody who's a little softer and a little fluffier and isn't going to push you as hard. Some therapists are going to be a blend. So I am very directive and like to call people on their stuff, like pretty outright. And it works well for most of my clients, but I'm also a trauma therapist. So I like to work at the pace that's most comfortable for my clients, and I let them set that pace. So what that looks like for me is, if you come in and say, hey, I really need to work on this thing this week, let's take a detour from what we were working on. I'm going to say, great, let's do it. But if that happens every week, I'm going to start to question you on why you keep avoiding the thing that we're going to work on. Therapy is really a place for you to like work through a lot of things. Your therapist can kind of be this safe space for you to be able to talk through the things that you haven't been able to talk through other people with. So let's say you had a really hard relationship with one of like your mom and you have a female therapist. It might be like a safe space for you to work through some of those issues with like a same-sex therapist as the person you struggled with. At the end of the day, my biggest tip for you is you've got to be your own advocate and ask for what you need. If you're not sure, then you need to just say that and let them be there for you. They're your person. They're there for you. Use them and let them do that. Let me know what other questions you have about therapy and coaching.